Developing now, 13 News Now confirms a federal investigation is underway into former Norfolk Sheriff Bob McCabe.
Investigators are looking into the contracts and finances of the Norfolk jail and the sheriff's office. Marcella Robertson has been looking into this all day.
Yeah, we've confirmed 2 separate subpoenas have been issued in this investigation, one to the city attorney's office and another to the Norfolk Sheriff's office. According to those documents, investigators are looking into a relationship between McCabe and a healthcare company who had a contract with the jail. McCabe was in charge of the sheriff's office and the jail for more than 20 years before abruptly announcing his retirement last December.
Federal investigators are looking into contracts between former Norfolk Sheriff Bob McCabe, the Norfolk Sheriff's Office, and the city. They are also looking into a relationship between McCabe and a healthcare company, Correct Care Solutions. This is all according to federal subpoenas. For 23 years, Norfolk Sheriff Bob McCabe ran the Norfolk Sheriff's Office and the city jail. Now his sudden retirement is overshadowed by a federal investigation. Thursday, 13 News Now confirmed at least 2 subpoenas had been filed in connection with an investigation into McCabe. Correct Care Solutions, or CCS, had a contract with the jail. Investigators are looking for anything that was given to McCabe by CCS, its CEO, or employees, including hotel stays, use of a condo in Nashville, sports tickets, concerts, the list goes on. They're also requesting records that go as far back as 2004. After asking the Norfolk Sheriff's Office if an investigation was underway, they released a copy of a subpoena they received, saying they wanted to be transparent. The subpoena also asks for all mail, emails, and text messages between any CCS employee and McCabe. In a separate subpoena given to the Norfolk City Attorney's Office, the feds are looking for similar records. During the corruption trial of Norfolk Treasurer Anthony Burfoot, our partners at the Virginian Pilot reported a developer who pointed the finger at Burfoot also said he bribed McCabe. McCabe denied those allegations, but announced his retirement just weeks later, citing personal reasons.
Now, it's also important to note that these subpoenas are looking into McCabe or any Norfolk Sheriff's Office employee that may have received anything of value from CCS. The Norfolk Sheriff's Office says they are fully cooperating with investigators. We have reached out to McCabe and CCS, but have not heard back from either. Marcella Robertson, 13 News Now.